Can write a story about it if you want to
Yeah, man, nice
get the
man.
word out there.
Yeah, man, get it out, the man. Gully Bop sick bad. I bleed through my intestine and I can't sleep at night time. Last night I ring blood out of a marina.
So every year since 2018, a vile rumor that dancehall artist Gully Bop had died would make the rounds. On most occasions, I'd call him up to confirm that he was indeed alive and well. He'd catch me up on what he was up to musically, and I'd write a story about it. The course of action was no different when the claim resurfaced this week. I called him, but there was no answer. I called him a couple more times, still no answer. After making some more checks, I confirmed that this time it wasn't just a sick joke on the internet. Bob had died after battling with kidney disease, and that was a tough pill to swallow. Not because he was a near and dear friend or anything sentimental like that, but because he'd been so vocal about his battles over the last few years that I wondered, yo, could we have done more to help Gully Bop? So Gully Bop, whose actual name was Robert Lee Malcolm, got his start in music in the 1990s as Countryman, but Mr. Vegas recently revealed that he knew the DJ when he had another moniker, Larky Pang. Mr. Vegas met Robert when he was a teenager and they'd walk to the studio in Stony Hill together to record songs. Unfortunately, the tracks never got radio play, which later on would become a theme in Robert's career. Neither his stint as Larky Pang nor Countryman was successful due to rumors that he was abusing substances, so Robert started doing mechanic work and other odd jobs here and there to survive. The next time the music consuming audience would see him again was in 2014 when he went viral while DJing Body Specialist.
Boom! Every girl want to walk off of me. Boom! Yeah. Every girl say they want piece of me. Boom! And every girl them a dive after me.
There's so many elements of that video that contributed to his overnight fame, right? Yes, there was this polarizing picture of this homeless, unkempt older guy reeling off lyrics and the vibes, but he also had the makings of a dancehall star. I mean, the charisma, the punchlines, the tonality. He naturally had the X factor. And so on came popularity, but also human nature. You know, we see something shiny and we want to attach ourselves to its glow. First up was Shauna Chin, now going by Shauna Controller. To her defense, Bop needed the help from a business perspective. The man needed polishing. Shauna said she was drawn to his talent, so she sought him out and ignited their business relationship. The two appeared to be a couple in public, and the things seemed to be going well for Bop. I mean, he'd cleaned up his image, he had found love, so he thought, and he had some bangers on the radio. But they'd sever ties in 2015 after much back and forth in the media, with Bop insisting that their relationship was romantic. There soon developed a pattern with any relationship Bop entered. He'd signed a deal with Claims Records, but that took a turn for the worst. Other managers and PR specialists came on board, like Heavy D and Carl Durant, and those relationships too were short lived, and it just constantly showed Bop as the common denominator. He appeared even more problematic because he'd run to social media to air their disputes. The most explosive relationship we witnessed was that with Amari DJ Mona Lisa. The eclectic personality became his manager and fiancé, and man, did they fight. Bop was slapped with domestic charges in 2016 after being arrested by police at the John F. Kennedy Airport in New York while attempting to board a flight to Jamaica. Amari claimed that he ran her down with a butcher knife and stole her passport and U.S. green card. He was released on a $1,200 bail when he appeared in the Brooklyn criminal court. The charges were later dropped. But his name would be called on assault charges again in 2018 when a woman accused him of hitting her in the face during a dispute in St. Thomas. He was arrested and released on a $40,000 bail and was more low-key on social media about that court case. Bop resurfaced the following year, attempting to rebrand with Carl by his side. By this time, things had slowed down for him. He wasn't in heavy rotation on the radio, he wasn't being booked for many shows, and he didn't have a romantic interest to keep him in the media. I remember speaking to Carl at the time, who believed the slow period allowed him to mature a bit. With his rags to riches story, a lot of gold diggers swarmed him, so it was very difficult to conduct proper business. I think the mere fact that things slowed down gave him time to reflect and see who was genuine and who was there for the money. I was never interested in making money from Gully Bop. I was always helping him. He's more mature and in a better place emotionally and mentally, and better prepared to handle what comes with stardom, in my opinion. Again, that was short lived. The only consistent figure throughout Bop's career was Jacqueline Hunt, this elusive figure from the UK who managed him behind the scenes for several years. Jacqueline wasn't spared from his often unpleasant utterances, though. I mean, they had their falling outs, their disagreements, some of which I was privy to from both sides, but I mean, hey, that was her client and that was his Jacqueline, and they were gonna stand beside each other.
It's from the bus until now. When I hear thing about manager, one person I signed to.
Jacqueline.
6 years now. Jacqueline Hunt. I do everything, man. Buy me groceries, pay me rent, buy me clothes. She control all of me YouTube thing them. She have control over all of my money, everything. If the job was dead and gone, everything I see her. No mother, no father, no brother, no sister. Everything. Jacqueline Hunt protect. Without my life. And everybody turning back into man. A woman never give up.
By 2019, Bop's personal life had bled so much into his professional one that many people started to distance themselves from him. According to him, that included DJs who weren't playing his music. At the time, he was promoting his Rumors EP, which was a 6-track set addressing a life haunted by rumors, including the yearly claim that he died. With not much support from the radio, he turned to social media to promote songs like Wash Your Hands, which racked up 2 million views on YouTube. I'd say Bop really started to unravel during the pandemic. He said God gave him a message to tell people to repent and called the epoch a plague that signaled the end times. I mean, needless to say, people didn't take him seriously because of his past, but he wasn't discouraged. I got the feeling that he was pretty lonely during 2021, even up to his demise. He'd lost his younger brother to the COVID virus and his sister to cancer, and he spent his days in Grand Spen literally talking to his plants and anyone who would listen.
The plant flowers and talk with them. Yeah? But people should not talk to my flowers them, but they may not understand. They can't answer me, you know. But sometimes they might say to me, I say, what am I going to want it? Yeah, me just talk to them.
Then came illness. Bop was hospitalized late that year for complications from a hernia and blocked tubes, and it needed funds for the regular upkeep of a colostomy bag, healthy diet, and caretaker. His public cries for help started with a Real Helping Hands page created by producer Dia Warrior with a $10,000 US goal.
The navel was bleeding or is bleeding,
Yeah.
and that's because of the cut that they made in the last surgery.
Yeah.
They said them cut your tripe.
Yeah, man, I'm tried them cut my intestine try, man.
Okay.
That's me have a mess from my side with the bag for me.
Are you still bleeding?
Yeah, right now me I bleed. Put all a rag over it. Soak of blood. I mean, I don't know if it do to stop the blood from come out. Since last night, now it run hard.
And KP just say only emergency them a deal with emergency surgeries, so you have to depend on like a wait list.
Yeah, I have to wait for a long time, and with the COVID, it was emergency. People were next to dead. But then the sister dead, me a dead man. She bleed out my blood out of me.
That arrangement also grew sour because Bop implied that Dia was tampering with the money. Dia denied it, but it started this drama, and so he relinquished the account and washed his hands clean of Bop. Bop returned to the studio, and he was super excited about this album he swore would be Grammy-worthy. This man was still bleeding, guys. I mean, his internal organ was still protruding, but he was always on the go. The fundraiser didn't yield much support, so he felt he could raise it through dub plates and new music. Eerily, he had a song on the album called Nah Bada Dead, which of course spoke to the seasonal reports that he'd kicked the bucket. I want a song if it hit. Why you'd want a good man like Gully Bop dead? Everybody has said me dead. All the bloggers have said me dead. I said, alright, since everybody has said me dead, Nah Bada Dead. With Dear gone, Bop sought help from other people like philanthropist Donna Goey and Pastor Christopher Tate. I remember once he was stuck in Crossroads because his car broke down, so he called to ask if I could come and pick him up. We didn't have a close relationship, so it made me wonder, how many people did he call before he called me? And it really highlighted that he didn't have much support. In the backdrop of him not having much support was his hot and cold personality, which shadowed him throughout his career. People said he was rude, entitled, disrespectful, and ungrateful, And I'm not gonna lie, from my interactions with him, I can see why some people would say that. If you're around somebody who's constantly stepping on your toes, at some point it'll come out of the way. Like enough is enough kind of thing. Months before he passed, Shauna called on the public to help him because really, she was stretched. She did so many things behind the scenes for him, and as she said, she didn't owe him her loyalty for life. While others were quick to say they wouldn't help because Bop was responsible for his predicament, Shauna offered a perspective I never thought of before. She dared people to imagine their lives changing immediately, like literally a wake up and you're famous. Money's coming in, access to luxuries you've never had before, the whole 9 yards. Would you be in a position to responsibly handle that? Can you swear on everything that it wouldn't get to your head in any way? I remember speaking to Shocking Vibes production founder Patrick Roberts a couple years ago, and he suggested an intervention for Bob before it got too late. Even if you blossom today, you're going to have problems tomorrow if you don't deal with your personality. And it's going to create this cycle of problems. He doesn't have leisure time. He's not 18 years old. Gully Bop really had all the makings of a dancehall star, and it's unfortunate that he wasn't able to actualize his full potential. Nonetheless, he contributed some good vibes and some good times to dancehall, and I'm sure his fans are grateful for that. Could we have done more to help Gully Bop? Was his downfall due to a lack of self accountability or a lack of humanity? Meet me in the comments, guys. Let me know what you think and keep it respectful. Until next time, like and subscribe if you dig the vibe, and share this video with your tribe.